After writing 2 transformational books myself and supporting many other beings to do the same, I've become enthralled by the deep and mysterious magic that's activated when we choose to say yes to ourselves and commit to the book writing journey. Of course, we want to inspire change and new perspectives in our readers, but the transformation that happens as an author, both throughout the writing process and by actually releasing your book into the world, is surprisingly potent. I know I've been blindsided in the most disruptive and delicious ways by some of the changes my books have brought into my life. Writing a book is like casting a spell. Although we can never be completely sure what's going to be unleashed during the process, we choose to do it anyway. This Unbound One is a heroic journey. Each book has the potential to be a magical portal, a doorway to a new world, both for you and your reader. Each book has a very specific medicine that it's here to share with us. And each book gives us the opportunity to alchemize the magnificent imperfection of our experience into gold. The truth is that anyone can write a book. We could all get a few thousand words down and put them together. But what fascinates me is what happens when we allow the book writing process to go deeper. When we say, fuck it, get naked and dive way down beneath the surface. Letting go of the shoulds and any need to be acceptable, sensible, or approved of. What fascinates me is what happens when we make ourselves fully available to being transformed by the very act of writing a book. This is Unbound Writing, and this is the process we'll be exploring together here in the Unbound Writers Club. I'm Nicola Humber, author and founder of the Unbound Press, and I help magical beings to write the transformational book they're really here to write at this time. I'm your guide here in the Unbound Writers Club, and the aim of this podcast is to help you to feel supported, encouraged, activated as you embark on your book writing journey. Whether you're a first-time author or have many books out in the world, my hope is that you will find something here to inspire you. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to the Unbound Writers Club. Today we are diving into marketing again. And how you can share your magic, your medicine, your message more powerfully with the world, how you can get your book into the hands of the people who need and want to read it, and how you can grow your audience and be attracting new readers and clients in a way that feels aligned and with an element of ease. Yes, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say that it's always easy to be marketing our work, but we do get to do it in a way that feels good. And if you listened to last week's episode, you will have heard me talking about the potential of creating some kind of community experience. So an online challenge or some other kind of event where you invite people to come along and be part of a journey that you are taking them on over usually 3 to 5 days, but it can be longer. So if you haven't listened to that one, I really recommend that you do, because this episode kind of complements that one. And in last week's episode, I was talking about how in April, we are hosting a live round of my program, Create a Community Experience, which is designed to take you right through this process of creating some kind of online challenge or event where you are inviting your people, your existing people, and new people to come on some kind of journey with you as a way of deepening connection, like getting people more familiar with your work, with your writing, what you're doing in the world, and maybe then inviting them to some kind of next step. You don't have to, but that can be an option. I take you through like all the different elements of the process in Create a Community Experience. So if you would like to be part of that, yes, please, let's do it. If you're not listening to this in April, by the way, if we've gone past the live round, you can still access all of the resources and go through it at your own pace. nicolahumber.com/create-a-community-experience. Oh my goodness, what a mouthful. We'll put the link in the show notes. But today's episode, I want to be sharing 3 specific ways with you that you can be attracting new people into your world. So if you are going to host a community experience, like this is a way of reaching a wider audience over a period of time and expanding the field of people that you are connecting with your book, with your work, like whatever you want to be sharing. Because this is a challenge that comes up over and over again. And I think one of the kind of common misconceptions is that marketing is all about social media. And social media can certainly be an element of it. But people had businesses and marketed their businesses, and people certainly wrote books before we had social media. So it is certainly possible to market your work, to market your book, to market yourself without using social media, or like using it in a way where like it's not the only thing. And the 3 ideas that I'm going to be sharing with you today, like they're all things that I have used myself in my business to grow my audience. And they're ways that can feel a lot less stressful, to be honest, or overwhelming than like purely focusing on social media. I quite enjoy being on social media. Like certainly Instagram is my place to hang out, and most of the time I enjoy it. But I know like some people in the Unbound Writing community, like social media is just a complete no. Like certainly Facebook, Instagram, it's like, no, I don't want to be on those platforms, which I totally get and respect. And for others, it can be, no, I just find it too much. I don't like that idea that I've just got to be constantly showing up on social media in order to be reaching people. So these are 3 ways that don't necessarily involve social media. You can kind of bypass it completely, or at least bypass kind of having to be on it 24/7. So the first way is really to, like, this is a way of harnessing the power of something you're already amazing at, if you are listening to this, and that is to write an article for some kind of publication. So this could be in the print media or some kind of online publication. So I've done both throughout the years that I have been an author and have my own business. And if you're looking for kind of more print media, a great resource to help with that is Sarah Lloyd's book, Connecting the Dots, Making Magic with the Media, not just in relation to kind of written articles, actually, in terms of getting PR with your work in any way. I would recommend that you get that book. Like, she writes specifically for spiritual entrepreneurs and authors. But in today's episode, I want to talk about online publications specifically, because that can be a really simple way to get started. So pitching or submitting articles, blogs to different online publications, magazines. So like I said, this is something that I've done personally. I haven't done it for a while, but certainly when I was in the process of writing both Heal Your Inner Good Girl and Unbound, this is something I did a lot of, and it attracted a lot of new people into my world and onto my email list. So this is the thing I want to say. It's one thing to be doing this, like writing articles and the other ideas I'm going to be sharing with you. But you want to have a way of staying in touch with people. So if you can have some kind of freebie or lead magnet, I don't really like that expression, but some kind of resource that you can offer to people in exchange for their email address, then getting people onto your email list, into your community that way is going to be so powerful, because you have a way of staying in touch with them and they have a way of staying in touch with you. So thinking about what may be something you can offer. It could be some kind of meditation or, a PDF, some kind of guide, something very simple, but it's a way of staying or inviting people to stay in touch with you. So when I was in the process of writing Heal Your Inner Good Girl and Unbound, certainly with Unbound as my kind of freebie, I had the Meeting Your Unbound Self visualization, like a free meditation that people could sign up for. And I published articles, I wrote articles based on what was coming through for the book, repurposed that and wrote it as articles for different publications at the time, one of which was Witch magazine, not the consumer magazine, Witch as in kind of burned at the stake witch. I'm not sure if that one is accepting submissions right now, but I wrote for Elephant Journal, Rebel Society. Like, there are so many different online magazines that you can submit articles to. So what I would recommend is, like, if you see somebody else that you know sharing an article that they've written for a particular magazine, or you're a fan of a particular publication yourself, is just to look at their criteria, what they are looking for, whether they accept open submissions or whether there's like anything in particular, any particular conditions that they have in place. Have a look, because very often it's a super simple process to submit an article to these places. Sometimes it can be something that you've already published, maybe on your own website, and you can repurpose it and submit it to an online magazine, and then you are getting to access a much wider audience. It's great if they allow you to include some kind of link. It's usually not in the body of the article, but in your bio at the bottom. That's what I did with the Meeting Your Unbound Self visualization. And with one article that I wrote back when I was in the process of bringing together Unbound, I literally doubled my email list, like pretty much overnight, or certainly within a few days, through writing one article, which just really, really resonated with people. So this is a great way of attracting new people into your world and on your email list, and something you're doing already, like you're a writer. So this is going to come really naturally to you, rather than writing kind of a week's worth of social media posts. Like, crafting a really powerful article can have so much more impact. So that's the first way to submit articles, to write and submit articles to online or print publications. Like, obviously with print publications, there's going to be more of a time lag before it makes its way into the world. The second option that I have for you, idea, is to be a guest either on somebody's podcast or maybe a guest teacher in somebody else's community. So again, this is something that I have done a lot of over the past few years. I know a lot of other Unbound writers have done the same, like guesting on different podcasts that feel aligned, offering to do guest teacher sessions, which can be paid or unpaid in other people's communities. And again, this is a really powerful way of reaching a new audience. Now, not everyone feels comfortable with doing this. Sometimes, particularly with podcasts, people can be like, oh, but, how will I know what to say? And, why would somebody want to hear from me? All of the same things that can come up actually when we are writing our books, but they can come up and come to the forefront when we are thinking about being a guest on a podcast. And really, the thing to come back to is, well, choosing podcasts and hosts that you feel some sort of alignment with. So, again, if there are podcasts that you listen to that you enjoy, or you see somebody else who has been on a particular podcast and you feel like, oh, I feel like that would be an amazing fit for me, then getting in touch with the hosts. Again, you can have a look on their website to see if there's a particular way to kind of pitch yourself as a guest, which again sounds scary, but very often this can be a process of dropping someone a message on Facebook or Instagram and just saying, like, I love your podcast. Are you looking for guests at the moment? This is what I'm writing about. This is what I'm able to speak about. What do you say? Like, honestly, it can be such a simple process. And then you are getting to connect with a whole new audience of people. And it is something that can feel very natural as well. Particularly, maybe if you have an existing connection with the host of a particular podcast, or a connection with somebody who has their own community, which you can go and run some kind of guest teacher session in, some kind of workshop or talk. I feel like harnessing the power of the connections that we already have is something that sometimes we ignore, or we're a bit blind to, because there can be this focus on, but like, everyone's out there. There's all of these new people out there. And how do I reach the people who are like further away from me, rather than looking at who's already in your community or who you already have some kind of connection with, and asking the question, well, how could I actually be of service to this person or their community? And being a guest on a podcast, or like I said, running a guest teacher session, is a really amazing way to do that. So, like, having a look at who's around you, having a look at the kind of podcasts that you enjoy listening to, or maybe that people have been a guest on, and just asking the question, like, are you looking for guests at the moment? Most people who host podcasts are always looking for new people to connect with if they have guests. This one's a bit different because the guests we have are all part of the Unbound Writing community, or Unbound Press authors. But generally, podcast hosts are always looking for new people. So that is a great way to be reaching a wider audience. And again, at the end of a podcast conversation, or if you're a guest teacher in a community, there will usually be the invitation for you to share how people can connect with you. And if you have a free resource that you can invite people to sign up for, then you have them on your email list and you can keep that connection going. So that's the second idea for reaching new people: marketing your work in a way that feels, hopefully, really natural and aligned. Way number 3, which is a bit similar to that, is to run some kind of like collaboration, or, again, I don't like this phrase, joint venture. That really takes me back to like kind of 2013, 2014. It was a big thing. Everyone was doing joint ventures and it all felt a bit like, I don't know, artificial. But anyway, collaboration is a really powerful way of growing your audience. So this could be like running some kind of online event, like a summit. Again, I don't like that word. Oh my goodness, there's like this massive, massive crow just outside my window, like looking in as I'm recording this. It was a little bit alarming. It's gone now. Let me get back on track. Let me give you an example. So recently at the Unbound Press, we hosted the Bring Your Book to Life Micro Audio Summit. So what that involved, and what a summit involves, people used to call them, is it teleconferences? Whatever, it doesn't matter what they're called, but it's where you're inviting different people to be part of some kind of online event. You host it, and this could be online, it could be in person. Actually, you are hosting it, and people sign up to access like the interviews, the workshops, whatever it is. So with the Bring Your Book to Life Micro Audio Summit, bit of a mouthful again, we invited about 6 or 7 different speakers to be interviewed around different aspects of the book writing journey, recorded those interviews. People signed up to get access to them. Maybe you did yourself. And the people who were part of it were all sharing it with their audiences. So as well as offering value to our existing audience at the Unbound Press, we were also reaching the audiences of everyone else who was involved. And in total, I think we had about 240 people signing up for that. And that's a great number. That's 240 people. They were all new people. Probably about a third of those were existing people, maybe a bit more, just under half maybe were existing people who signed up to listen into the interviews. But yeah, I reckon about 140 of those people were brand new to the Unbound Press and to my work. So hosting that kind of collaboration, it does take a bit of work, but there's so much value in doing it, because not only are you attracting, like, you're accessing other people's audiences, so you're attracting new people to you, but also it's a great way of creating oh my goodness, I keep stumbling over my words today. Because I'm getting really excited about this subject. I'm like so passionate about, like, yes, obviously you're writing your book, but like really sharing it and sharing your work more widely and in a more impactful way. Anyway, let me get back to my point that hosting this kind of event, like some kind of collaboration, is such a beautiful way of creating deeper connections with the people you're inviting to be part of it. So some of the people who I invited to be part of Bring Your Book to Life, some of them I knew already, but some were brand new to me, who came through like existing connections. They were recommended to me, but I didn't know them. So going through that process of connecting with them, inviting them to be part of it, like recording the interview, finding out more about them, it's just so great. Like they're part of my network now. And I know there are like people who were part of Bring Your Book to Life that like we can be collaborating in different ways in the future. So again, like hosting that kind of event, although it does, it can take a bit of like time and energy to put together, the rewards are, really, really rich in so many different ways. So those are the 3 ideas I wanted to share with you today. There are lots more, but those are 3 that I've used personally and have worked really well for me. So writing articles for online publications, being a guest on a podcast, or running a guest teacher session for somebody else's community, or hosting some kind of collaborative event, are all really great ways to reach a wider audience. And each of those ideas works really, really well alongside then creating some kind of community event, community experience for your people. And as a reminder, we are running my online program, Create a Community Experience, live in April. So this is an opportunity to go through the whole process of putting together your own community experience and actually launching that, inviting people to be part of it, and like being held by me and part of a community as you are going through that process. So if you are interested in joining us for that, I would love you to. You can sign up at nicolahumber.com/create-a-community-experience. And I would love to see you there. And I would love also to hear from you, like what today's episode has sparked. If you've got any ideas about like which one of those ideas that I've shared feels most resonant for you, then please do get in touch. You can always pop me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Nicola Humber. Would love to hear from you. But here's to sharing your magic, your medicine, your message with the people that it's here to reach. Yeah. Thanks for listening in today, and I'll be back soon again for another episode of the Unbound Writers Club.